Gauri?
Yes, ma'am. Should I begin?
Yeah, I think we can. We have good 80 participants and more would be joining as soon as they are freed from their lectures.
All
So I
right,
think
ma'am.
we can start.
Okay.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the state level webinar on demystifying master's application process abroad. I'm honored to introduce our speakers for today. Meenal Damani has completed her Masters of Finance from Massachusetts Institute of Technology's Sloan School of Management, USA, and Bachelor's in Computer Engineering from Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. Before joining On Course in 2019, she worked in private equity and investment banking across several companies like Hector Capital, Morgan Stanley, Royal Bank of Scotland, and Anand Rathi. She has studied and worked in 4 countries like USA, UK, UAE, and Singapore. She loves to share her diverse experience and knowledge about various education landscapes with students. Our second speaker for today is Tanya M Samani, who is graduated from Lady Shri Ram College, New Delhi, in economics and psychology, followed by a postgraduate degree in psychology from London School of Economics. Her experience in overseas education consulting spans over 5 years with a robust understanding of different programs across geographies. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for inviting us today. Just want to do a quick tech check. Am I audible? My screen can be seen by everyone. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Can you give me
ma'am.
a thumbs up? Yep. Okay, great. So thank you so much. On Course is a education counseling venture where we help students with their master's and MBA applications abroad. We also help students with their Gmat Prep. So today we are here to help you demystify the master's application process. It can seem a bit daunting, but it really isn't, and we can help you, break up the components and make it easier for you. So we'll be covering the application process today. Then we'll tell you how you can make your profile stronger, how OnCourse works, and then we'll open the floor to questions. So we'll be taking questions in the end. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box, and then we will come back to them in the end. So let me come to the application process first. The application process tends to be the same across countries, mostly. It's homogeneous. Some components might be, there might be tweaking of some components here and there, but broadly it is the same. So these are the main 8 components. You need your transcripts, standardized tests like GMAT or the GRE, English language test, the TOEFL or the IELTS. You need a resume or a CV. You need to have essays, letters of recommendations from your professors and your supervisors, the application form, and some financial documents. So let me break it up for you one by one. First, transcripts. What is a transcript? A transcript is an official document which states your grades, your GPA, and all the modules you have done in your undergrad college. So currently you are at Lala's. If you want to tell them that you are looking to apply overseas, they will give you a transcript. Now, transcript can be in 2 formats. It can either be electronical or you can get a hard copy, which you then scan and upload it on the portal. Why do they need a transcript? It shows 2 things. First, it shows your academic rigor, that how good a student you are, what is your GPA, right? Second, it helps you meet the eligibility requirements. So certain college courses like the business analytics course or an engineering course will require you to have certain prerequisite requirements. Prerequisites in the terms of like you should have done these modules in your undergrad. So it shows to the university where you're applying that you have done these modules in your undergrad. It should include results from the first to the most recent semester. So say, for example, you are applying right now, but you haven't got the result of this semester. So the last available result should be there. Now, transcripts, it's very important that some incomplete credits, or if you have failed a course, it will be on your transcript, and then the university where you're applying will find out, and this could be a potential red flag on your transcript. That's why it's very important to do well in your undergrad degrees. Moving on, this is a sample transcript. This is from NMIMS. So as you see, all the details are here. What was the name of the student, program, duration, when did they enroll, when they will be leaving, and what all subjects have they done, and what are the credits and the grades they have received. And if you see at the bottom, it is signed by the authority from the school and stamped. So this is an official transcript. Second thing you need is the GMAT or the GRE score. This depends a lot on the course you are applying for. So a lot of the engineering programs will require you to give the GRE. A lot of the management programs will require you to give the GMAT. So your MBA, your Masters in Finance, Masters in Management, mostly it is the GMAT. While for your other programs like computer engineering, psychology, it will be GRE. So it is a standardized test which helps you calibrate the students across the globe. If you see, all the colleges have different GPA grading systems. Yours might be different. It could be on 8 or 10. So that's why they need the GMAT or the GRE score, because it helps them standardize the caliber of the student. It is broadly divided into two parts. One is the quant and one is the verbal. And the higher the score, the better it is. So I will be talking a lot about GMAT in the end, because as I said, we do Gmat Prep at OnCourse, so we can help you strategize and give you more information that how you can do your Gmat Prep better. A good Gmat score is about 710 plus, and a good GRE score is about 325 plus. And we always tell our students that you should always take 2 attempts. You will always see a point jump from the first to the second attempt. And before you take the first attempt, it is always advisable to take at least 10 to 12 full-length tests. These tests help you prepare for the real exam and will get you in the groove to give the exam. Now, what is the TOEFL or the IELTS? It is an English language proficiency test. Since we are not native English language speakers, the universities abroad expect us to give this test to show them that we can study in English and we will be able to manage in an English speaking country. So it depends on the geography you're applying for. So TOEFL is mostly for US and Canada, and IELTS is for UK. The IELTS UK VI academic training module is mandatory for Tier 4 UK visa. So if you're clear that you want to go to UK, we advise that you give the IELTS UK VI academic training module so that you don't have to take the test again. And it is an English language test. It is not very difficult. There are certain templates, and if you do those templates in advance, you should be able to do the test. The top score for IELTS, a good score for IELTS would be 7+, and for TOEFL, it'll be about 100 and plus. And most of the schools will require you to give these tests beforehand. Moving on, what is a resume? So, you've heard of resumes all the time, that when you're applying for an internship, when you're applying for a job, or even for some club positions, you need a resume. So a resume is a snapshot of your profile. The resume you need for your applications is very different to the resume you will be using for your internships. This resume which you need for your applications is an academic resume. It highlights all your academic achievements and touches upon your education and project work in detail. And it has to be very relevant to the degree you are applying for. So say, for example, you are applying for a marketing degree. Your projects should be marketing related, your internship should be marketing related, and whatever you're talking about in your resume should be marketing related. Similarly, if you're applying for psychology or management, all the achievements should show that you have good skills and good caliber to do that particular degree. The ideal length is 1 page. Most of the management schools, business schools, if you're applying for Masters in Finance, Masters in Management, will require you to have a 1-page resume. If you're applying for engineering and humanities, then you can have up to 2-page resumes, but we suggest you to have a 1-page resume. So let me show you. This is an ideal resume, what it should look like. Now focus on the font of the resume. If you see that the font is similar, it's one font which we have used, right? It's a very clean resume. Okay, the formatting is in place. You can see that there is education, experience, projects, extracurricular activities, and interests. So you can identify the different sections. The dates are in one format, and even what what the title at the internship was and what was the research done is very clear from the headings, right? And as you see, if there are bullet points, so it's very clear, and all the bullet points are only 2 lines, so it's a very crisp resume. This is what you have to look for when you're making a resume, that it is very crisp, it is very clean and neat for the person who's reading it to understand it in one shot. I will take all resume related questions if you have in the end. And if you see the chronology, that everything starts, the latest comes first, and then the older things are coming down. Moving on, the essays. So essays are basically a sales pitch to the admissions committee. Okay, because you have shown them your GPA, you have shown them your Gmat score, your IELTS or the TOEFL score. Now they want to understand that why do you want to do this particular masters? What is the purpose of doing this masters? So a lot of the colleges ask you for a statement of purpose. As the name suggests, why do you want to do this masters and why do you want to do it from particularly from that college? So say for example, if you're applying to LSE, the Masters in Management program at LSE. So they want to understand what have you done till now, which makes you a good candidate for the Masters in Management program. What do you want to do after the Masters in Management program, and why are you choosing LSE? So this is called also the goals essay or the professional essay, where they want to understand what do you want to do professionally after the Masters and what skills do you have to do well in that Masters. And there are the other kind of essays also, which are called the creative essays or the value essays. The creative and the value essays want to see what kind of personality you have. They want to see your holistic personality. So they could be what kind of contributions you'll be making to the school, or who's your favorite leader and why, which leader inspires you. Or like NYU has an essay which is called Pick 6, which asks you to demonstrate your life and your what you've done so far in 6 pictures. So these are called creative essays. So it is very important to have a theme to your essays, and clarity of goals is very essential as well. So say for example, you are saying that I have always focused on holistic development. So through these 6 pictures, you have to show that what are the skills you have developed. This could be one of the themes you use for your essays. And as we were discussing that, as I mentioned earlier, that goals essay, you have to show that what are the goals or what are the goals you want to do after your masters, as well. What are the missing gaps? What are the missing skills you have which you want to fulfill through these masters? And all this has to come out in your application very strongly. So this is, say for example, this is a goals essay for a data science student. So he has, we have mentioned in this that we have done this so far. I have worked with large data sets, specifically database systems. And now I want to do this. And this is why I want to study at USC to attain these skills. And post this, I want to, in the long term, want to work in Google or Amazon. So the goals can be divided broadly into 2 categories: short-term goals and long-term goals. Short-term goals are what you will be doing in 2 to 3 years right after your masters, and long-term goals are what you will be doing after, say, 6 to 7 years. So say for example, you are in masters in finance, you can say I will be joining a M&A or investment bank immediately after I finish, and then I want to move to a private equity fund. So that will be a long-term goal. Similarly, this is for Masters in Management. So this was a person who had a family business background. So she said that after joining, after complete chief, being in the long term. Sorry, can everyone go on mute, please, if that's okay? Okay. Now, after the essays, the 6th requirement are recommendation letters. So recommendation letters are either written.
Ma'am, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself. Just now you went.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
So coming back, the sixth requirement is recommendation letters. Masters is an academic degree. So they want to test your academic rigor. They want to see if you'll be able to cope up with the academic rigor of the master's program at their university. So most of the recommendations come from your professors. Colleges mostly look at 2 to 3 recommendations, and we suggest 2 to 3 academic. And then if you have a strong professional recommendation from your internship or your work experience, you can use a 1 professional recommendation. So what are these recommendations? They are profile evaluation by credible sources. What do we mean by that? That so far we have said that I have these skills, I have done this and this, and I have been able to contribute and make an impact in my projects or at my university by this much. But they need you to vet your claims. So a professor will be vetting the claim, saying that this person used to contribute in class, was very active in all the projects, took leadership positions, and was a good asset for the for your college. And this is what they mention on a letter of recommendation, to state that they will make invaluable contribution to the university you will be joining to. Similarly, a professional recommendation will state that these are the skills you have, this is what you have done. So it is very important to come up with specific examples. So if they say that you were good in multitasking or you were good at leadership, there should be real life examples of where did you do multitasking, or where were you good in leadership, time management, stress management, analytical skills. So it all has to come out through examples in your recommendation letters to make it very personal. So, and one thing I want to add here, that the designation of the person you are taking the recommendation from is not important. It is important to see that how much the person knew you and for how long, and how closely you worked with the person. So sometimes we get these questions that should I take it from a partner or a managing director, or is a manager also good? So honestly, it depends on the quality of work you've done with that person. If you think you've worked a lot with the partner, take it from the partner, but mostly interns and early level analysts worked with the managers. So take it from the manager, who will be able to give you a very good recommendations in terms of the what work you've done and what skills demonstrated. Now, the last thing is, all these things have to be uploaded on the application form. So as soon as you decide, say for example, that I want to apply to MIT Sloan, you open an application account on MIT's website for that particular course. There you will see a lengthy application form where you have to upload everything, all your personal information, your SOP, your recommendations, your essays, your resume, everything has to go on this application form. Now, many times these application forms have short responses as well. Say, for example, an imperial application has that what are the financial skills you have, or what are the quantitative skills you have. So these short responses are about, say, like 50 characters, or they'll say 50 words. So you have to fill these short responses also. And they have multiple short responses. So let's say, for example, Simon Business School has a short response that tell us in 25 words one random fact about yourself. They want to see that are you a good cultural fit for the college, and what kind of skills you have. And there are also certain questions like explain the gaps in your resume, or some other circumstances, or anything which you have not added in your application which you want to highlight. So there's an additional essay or an optional essay also which you can fill. So the application form is also very important, because sometimes we realize that students are not very good at filling these application forms and showing what skills they possess. You have to, like, your GPA has to be there to show what leadership positions you have, what extracurricular activities you have, what were you doing outside the classroom. All has to come on the application form. And now these are the additional requirements. These additional requirements are totally dependent on the course and what college you are going to, what country. If it varies from college to college. So most of the programs nowadays have interviews, and these interviews are by invitation only. So these interviews could either be with the admissions officer or could be with an alumni. It tends to be a Zoom call or a Skype call, one of interviews are case studies, like an IE business school or an IESE business school has a case study. So again, it depends on the college and the program you're applying for. Then there is video introduction or a video essay. Again, this depends on the program you're applying for. So what is a video introduction? That they tell you beforehand that you have to record in 60 seconds introducing yourself to your class. So they basically want to assess your verbal skills, your confidence, and they want to put a name, a face to the name. So they want to see how good you are in speaking, in delivering your, introducing yourself. Also, there is something called video essay. Video essays are getting more and more popular with most of the universities. So like Columbia has a video essay in which you don't know the questions beforehand. The question, when you say that you want to take the video essay now, then at the spot you will get 4 questions and then you have to record your answers live. You do not get a second chance. And these video essays work in the format that you get 30 seconds to think and then 60 seconds to answer. So an Imperial, a Columbia, a USC all have video essay interviews as well. Third, if you are applying for a research heavy degree, say for example, master's in research or a PhD or psychology, sometimes, or a journalism program, they sometimes ask you for a writing proposal or a research proposal or a writing sample. So this could be something what you've done for your projects. If you have a published paper or if you have some published articles, you can submit those. Or if you're applying for a master's in research, they might ask you to contact a research supervisor and then submit a proposal to him. This is basically to evaluate your academic writing and your research capabilities. If you're applying for an art or design program, they will always ask you for a portfolio. They want to see your work, what skills you have, your creativity, and that's why they ask you to submit a portfolio. Again, the requirements are different for these portfolios. Some universities will ask you for a 20 piece, some will not give you a number, some might ask you for 10 pieces. So again, depends on the program you're applying to. And it is very, the specifications for the portfolio are always given on the portal. And if you're applying for one of these art or design programs, then they want an artist statement also from you to assess your motivation, what inspires you and your work. So now I will give it to Tanya to come to the next part of the presentation, which is profile building, that how you can make your profile stronger. Tanya, I think you can share your screen.
I'm going to share my screen. Just allow me a moment, guys. Yes. Right. Sorry, 1 second. Is my screen visible, everyone?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Sounds good. So thank you, Meenal, for giving us great insights into the application process. I believe one student has the video on. Could we? Sorry, can you ask to stop video? Yes, great, works. Okay. So now I will be running you through how to build your profile in these college years, the 3 most crucial, most instrumental years of your life. While Meenal has given us great insights into the application process, there are certain things that we need to take care of while we are in college to make a very strong case for yourself with respect to master's applications. And the other thing is, even if you're not looking to apply for masters, and tomorrow if you want to get into the workforce, tomorrow if you want to maybe take up an internship or join a company, there has to be a certain X factor to your profile which allows you to stand out and allows you to have an edge over the others. So let's see what this profile building entails, and we'll discuss it in detail. Right. So first and foremost, these are the focus areas that we are going to be talking about and we are going to be covering in our segment. These areas you can also understand from the sample Meenal had shared. These are pretty much the headings of a resume, right? So your profile, and like Meenal said, your resume is the snapshot of your profile and the things that you've done which are relevant to whatever you are seeking. Now you can seek a master's degree, or you can seek an internship, or you can seek a full-time job. Whatever is that you're seeking, your profile needs to resonate, A, with that, and B, needs to touch upon all of these things that I have mentioned here. So first is academic research, second is work experience, your extracurricular activities, your social involvement, and of course, the miscellaneous things and your interests and skills. So let me touch upon each one. So your academics are important from a very, very simple standpoint that you've worked hard, right? And everyone likes to see a good score on the resume, and simply because they know that you've been a hardworking person, you've studied hard, and you've maintained a consistent good result. Now, like Meenal said, having a good GPA is of paramount importance. Your GPA and your GRE scores together determine your candidature, determine the strength of your application. It is later that the essays, it is later that the resume counts. The first thing that any admissions committee looks at is your GPA and your GRE in order to evaluate your profile, right? Outside of this also, a lot of companies, if you're applying for jobs, if you're applying for internships, a lot of companies have a certain GPA bracket that they're looking at and they would like to work with, right? So maintaining a good GPA, keeping a pulse on the modules you enjoy, kind of research that appeals to you. For example, you're doing a BMS program, right? So it's a management science program with a specialization in marketing. You have identified a niche for yourself. So try and have internships in marketing. Try and prove it to them that, hey, I want to apply to a master's in marketing after this. So these are the 3 internships that I have done. These are the 3 projects that I've done. Sorry, not internship. These are the 3 projects that I've done. These are the 3, maybe, 1 research paper that I've heavily worked on. And identify your niche, identify what you truly enjoy. So this is visible in your academics column. Of course, if you've been the high rankers of the class, if you've been in the top 1 or 2%, if you've scored a GPA like a 9.5 on 10, that really works to your benefit. And any kind of awards or felicitations you've received, they all come under this portion. The next aspect that I'm going to be touching upon is research projects. It is in continuation with your academics. Everything that you do in college, try and maintain a theme to your projects. For example, in your first year, you might have tried a lot of projects, but maybe towards your second year and towards your third year, try to streamline the kind of project work that you're doing. Try to understand that, I want to make sure my profile looks like one single thread without any knots in between, right? So allow your first year to be the exploratory year. But second year and third year should come down to streamlining your research interests, should come down to streamlining your other hobbies, your other, academic achievements, your other academic interests, if I may say. Look for research opportunities outside of your curriculum. Reach out to your professors. They're always super helpful when you want to take up independent projects. They're more than happy to audit it for you. Try and maintain a theme to your projects. Try and, so for example, if you're trying to gauge, as I said, if you're specializing in marketing and social media influence is your research interest, then try to have multiple projects in it. Try to explore different nuances through different projects, but try to have a theme in your profile. And likewise, to have theme, present papers at seminars, attend conferences, attend conclaves, try and seek for publishing opportunities. Even if your paper is not published, try writing one. It allows you to delve deeper and it allows you to build a very robust research base. And of course, the amount of strength it adds to your profile is unparalleled. The third aspect that I'm going to be very quickly touching upon is your work experience. While your research projects and your academic experience gives the rigor of your academic profile, your work experience adds value to the fact that you've gotten your hands dirty and you've learned through experience, right? So internships in your case will add immense value. Meenal and I screen resumes on a daily basis. And one thing that, makes one resume stand out from the other is having good amount of internships, is having relevant work experience. Maybe, if you're looking for a master's in finance degree, having worked at Anand Rathi or having worked at Motilal Oswal is definitely beneficial. Having good profiles, gaining skills through work experience allows you to build your profile better. It not only makes your profile for a master's degree strong, it makes you more and more employable. You end up getting a good network, you reach out to more and more people, and you're working with smart people. You're working in the real world, helping you build real skills. Yes, and the most important thing your work experience will ever help you achieve is you understand your likes and dislikes. The other day I was talking to a client and he told me, hey Tanya, I've been working at Barclays for 8 months. I don't think so I enjoy this role very much. Maybe instead of an MBA, I want to look at a master's in finance. Now this candidate of mine, he sought clarity in terms of what he likes and what he dislikes by actually working at Barclays. He did not enjoy the role he was pursuing and he shifted his career trajectory. This is the kind of impact that work experience brings to your life. And also, again, in your work, the same thing applies, what applies to your research project and your life in general. Have linearity and have goal clarity. If you're not liking something, be open to exploring other opportunities, but be mindful that they have to ultimately lead you to your goal and your story needs to be seamless. This again, I'm going to reiterate this. This is not important only from a master standpoint. It's important in general to be more employable, to be out there and creating your profile in a stronger fashion. When you look for internships and when you go out there, seek real world work, there are a few things that you must keep in mind. These are our key takeaways that, we always tell our students. Take notes. By the end of 3 months, you will be lost. When I will ask you to, culminate the 3-month experience into your resume, you will be lost. And believe me, when I say that, I've had enough experience in this, that if you don't take notes, if you don't note down what your achievements have been like, if you don't make sure that, you've kept a pulse on what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy, things tend to get lost. Yes. And most importantly, why, and I'm not asking you to take elaborate notes. We are not telling you that, hey, write a paragraph every day. No, just a simple one line. This is what I enjoyed about my work. This is what I did today. Or maybe, let's say I was put on a team that helped social media engagement increase by 25%. As simple as that. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? As simple as that. And at the end of your internship, analyze your 30 days of work, analyze and understand what truly appeals to you and what is something that you don't want to take up for your future, because identifying your dislikes is as important as understanding what you like, which takes us to our next point: selection versus elimination. These internships will allow you to sometimes eliminate opportunities which you thought, wow, I want to be in finance, and 3 internships later, it's backbreaking, it's gruesome, you have to give 16 hours a day, you're seeing your seniors work so hard, and maybe it's not meant for you. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So more than selection, it really helps you eliminate your options. The next and the most important thing that you must address while you are in your internship or work experience phase is keep your eyes and ears open. I cannot stress enough on the importance that when you are at your internship and you seek out opportunities, keep your eyes and ears open for more and more project work, for maybe, understanding what your senior management or what your management is doing. It allows you to gain better understanding of the work that you will be taking up in future. And this can really help you make choices. This can help you maybe get your next internship. This can help you maybe get your next full-time job. So keep your ears and eyes open. And of course, showing initiative during your internships will always, if nothing, fetch you a good letter of recommendation. So definitely be brave and march forward. That would be my one tip for you. Now, the second last section of our excuse me, of our resume is extracurricular activities, right? while you guys are in college, and you all know how important it is to participate, to be an active part of the student community, to be a part of clubs and societies. I'm sure you all are well aware of the college festivals. Being an organizing member of events for the college is of paramount importance. All this is fine, but what is it leading you towards, right? Why are you doing all of this? The two main key points that help you build a strong profile through these extracurricular engagements are: first, it allows you to understand leadership roles, and as at the same time allows you to be a team player, right? So here you are achieving two things. You are achieving leadership skills as well as you are understanding team dynamics, which is very, very important for your life ahead, not only in terms of a master's degree, super important, but also in terms of if in future you're looking for employment, if in future you're looking to expand to different roles, you'll already know, you'll have a flavor of actively participating into different things, multitasking. So these are the softer skills that your extracurricular activities help you build. The second thing is it allows the admissions committee simply, or whoever is reviewing your resume, to understand that this person has initiative. This person is interested in something beyond education, something outside of classroom, and this person can go out there, network, and of course, spend their time constructively while giving back to the student community. Super important. People do not take it very, very seriously, the extracurricular engagements, but having a good, club and society participation, or maybe heading a club or society, or being the sole key in charge or chief in charge for a student fest or a college delegation is very, very important to your profile, and it adds immense value. So if you ask me, start participating more. Then there is another thing called a social involvement or volunteering activities or community engagement. Comes under any heading that you want to pick for yourself. Try and be a part of the social initiative. Try and maybe start a social initiative if you can. Of course, it doesn't matter how big a part you were or how big an initiative you started, the impact is always greater than the size. So even if you were able to get, let's say, 2 students scholarship and you helped them give their grade 10th exam that they were failing otherwise for 3 consecutive years, you've done your bit, right? So admissions committees are very, very interested in understanding that did you go out there and give back to the community, right? And when I say community, they are trying to understand your social involvement or your passion towards lesser fortunate, lesser privileged, and how big an impact have you been able to create through your activities. Of course, while you're doing this, please do not forget to quantify the work that you've done. Try and always keep a note of how many students you helped, or maybe, how many classes you took, how many hours of volunteering engagement did you have, and what is the kind of impact that was created through your involvement. Again, adds that niche to your profile. It is very, very mandatory for some programs to have a social involvement section. It definitely adds value. For some, not so much. Depending on the course that you're applying to, social involvement takes the part of the pie. And last but not the least, interests, of course, showcases your personality, provides a personal touch to your profile. For example, you have certified achievements, you don't know where to put them. This is the section where it goes. For example, you're a PADI certified diver, or you're a national level shooter with a FIDE ranking, or you've pursued like raisin art. A couple of my clients, they've actually pursued raisin art, converted it into a full-time business, and now they have an Instagram handle and they are sort of selling their stuff. But it all started with a small interest of raisin art. So they took courses, they got themselves certified, and then they started their own work. It's very important, and can really help you streamline your interests if you actively pursue hobbies in your free time. Yes, and the miscellaneous section is your technical skills, such as any programming language that you know, any softwares like Adobe or CorelDRAW that you know, programming languages such as Python, Java. Again, programming languages are very, very relevant to a lot of things. So I'm going to stress a little bit more on programming languages. If you have the free time and if you can, build a quantitative sort of profile, definitely try your hands at programming languages, advanced Excel, try and take up more and more technical courses online on Coursera or Udemy or edX. really helps chisel your profile and make it a good fit for a lot of programs. Again, languages comes in this section. The more foreign languages you are well versed with is definitely a benefit to your resume, adds a lot of value. So these are the few things you can strengthen and chisel your profile with. And now back to Meenal in terms of how we help.
Thank you. Just sharing my screen again.
Sorry, Meenal, I'll quickly stop share.
Yeah. So how on-course helps? So once you come on board with us, after finalizing what course are you looking to do, which course will be the best to meet your goals. Say, for example, Masters in Finance also has a couple of different segments. It could be quantitative finance, it could be computational finance, corporate finance, or if you're looking for psychology, there's organizational behavior, there is clinical psychology. So once you finalize the course, we help you make a college list. Now, this college list is bucketed into 3 categories: targets, safeties, and aspirations. So most of our clients apply to 8 to 10 colleges. And I think 8 to 10 colleges is a good number because you want to apply to a variety of colleges. So we help you end to end. After you've selected the colleges, we help you with the resume. We help you, as Tanya said, we help you put only the relevant and the most impactful achievements and whatever you've done on the resume. So even in the resume, we always try to make it very quantitative, in the sense, if you have reduced cost, we will try to highlight by how much have you reduced the cost of a certain initiative. Say, for example, if you were working at a firm and you said that I increased revenue by meeting so many clients. So we will make it very quantitative and try to make it very impactful to say that what was the exact value add from your end and what skills did you demonstrate while performing that. Similarly, for your SOP and essays, first we help you brainstorm and craft your story. That why do you want to do this master's? How has your story been linear so far? So say, for example, you've reached point A in your life and you want to get to point B. So how will this master's bridge the gap from point A to point B? So I'll take an example. Say, for example, I would take an example for Masters in Business Analytics, that you want to work in consulting and strategy, and you have done a lot of stats and quant heavy courses so far. So you feel that you have the quantitative rigor to analyze data, and now you want to help companies make optimal use of the resources and processes. So we will show in your statement of purpose that how has your experience equipped you to do that, and how this Masters in Business Analytics help you. Similarly, for the essays, the other creative essays, we will help you brainstorm and craft your story, that who your favorite leader should be. How does his story, the leader's story, tie in with your stories? Or as I was giving an example earlier of NYU Pick 6. So which 6 pictures you should be looking at, and how will it all tie in with your complete application? Letters of recommendation. So in terms of letters of recommendation, we guide you that who you should be taking the recommendations with. So say, for example, it's coming back to Masters in Business Analytics, since a quant heavy technical course, we will tell you that which professor we think will be a better fit to give you a recommendation to highlight those skills. And similarly, from your internships, who you should be taking it from, who you worked with for how long, and where we feel will a stronger recommendation will come out. We'll also tell you that what skills the recommendations should be highlighting. So say, for example, if you're looking for a master's, if you're looking for an MBA, so in MBA, it's all about your holistic personality, right? So then in MBA, we'll tell you, okay, that highlight time management, leadership, team management. So different skills should be highlighted from different LORs. So we'll help you brainstorm for this as well. Then application forms. As I was mentioning earlier, a lot of students do not pay a lot of importance to these application forms. So we help you fill these application forms as well, that where you can highlight there in application forms, where you can highlight your extracurricular activities, your leadership, the technical skills you have, the interests you have, or any other certifications or achievements which you have. Then additional docs, some of the universities ask you for financial documents, or for some other transcripts or degree certificates. We help you collate these as well. And in the end, the most interview prep, which is the final step before you get your admission, we help you with interview prep as well. We do a lot of mock interviews, be it a technical interview or a behavioral interview or a group interview. We help stimulate as well and help you with the interview prep. And how we do it is, interview prep is done with different people, so that you don't get comfortable with one person, and you're doing it with a stranger also, to get you the real experience. So we help you end to end, from the step you decide that okay, you want to do your master's, till the time you get your admit, end to end assistance. Now let me come to Gmat prep. As I was saying, that Gmat is very important because it is a standardized test. So a good score on Gmat is very important to show that yes, you can meet the academic rigor of the degree. And in some cases, if your GPA is average, a good Gmat score will help you balance out a average GPA. It will counterbalance your average GPA. That's why Gmat scores and GRE scores are very important. At OnCourse, we help you with Gmat prep. So we cover all 4 sections of the Gmat. Gmat is divided into 4 sections: quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, integrated reasoning, and analytical writing. So at OnCourse, we have a 12-week package in which we cover all 4 sections of the Gmat, and that we do one-on-one tutoring, and it's very customized and flexible. So if you feel that okay, you are good at verbal, we will help you with the quant. You feel you're good in quant, but in certain topics you don't feel very comfortable, say be it algebra or geometry, it can be customized to meet your needs. Since we are working with you directly for your Gmat prep, we help you with the strategy, that how many mock tests you should be taking, when you should be taking, what are your weaknesses from those mock tests, what material you should be solving, which questions you should be looking at, how you should manage your time. So there are a number of components we focus on. Our curriculum is curated from multiple resources, so you don't need to go hunting for books. We give you our own workbooks, which we have curated ourselves. We all have given the Gmat here, and our teachers are very experienced, and they have come up with these curated workbooks, which if it's very streamlined. So if you just solve our workbooks, we are confident that you'll do well on the Gmat. And the progress is analyzed through the engagement. As I said, towards the middle of the course, we ask you to start doing these mock tests, and then we help you, guide you that how you can work on your weaknesses and how you can take your score higher up. The course is taught by highly experienced faculty. Our teachers have been teaching this for very long, and they have seen some tremendous scores. Just recently we have a 770 out of 800, which is almost unbelievable. It's a very high score. A 750, a 740, a 730. So we have really good scores thanks to our students who worked hard on the Gmat. And these are some of our acceptances. So all Ivy Leagues, all good colleges in UK, Imperial, LSE, Stanford, MIT, Duke, Harvard, Brown. We have students who have done really well and gone to these, for different programs, gone to these colleges.
We would now like to open the floor to any questions that you may have. Happy to answer all your queries here. We already have Gauri asking, thank you so much for a wonderful session. Thanks, Gauri. Can you elaborate more on the thematic analysis you mentioned earlier? Yes. So thematic analysis, essentially, you don't have to get into statistics of it, but if you are taking notes during your internship, if you're taking key pointers as to what you enjoyed and what you didn't enjoy, by the end of 30 days, or let's say it's a 60-day internship, by the end of 2 months, you will be able to identify themes to the work that you enjoyed and you didn't. So if you have a lot of I didn't like working on programming languages, or oh, I didn't like the coding bit of my work, or I didn't like the engineering part of my of the job, maybe something you don't enjoy, quantitative profile is not for you. But you did enjoy working in teams, you did enjoy leading the presentation and doing the market research for it, and you truly enjoyed, creating a social media strategy. So this is something you enjoyed. So within that analysis, your theme is maybe market research and market intelligence. Yeah. So is it necessary to mention goals in SOP even if you're still exploring the career path for future? Yes, it is very, very important to mention goals in your SOP, and SOP is incomplete without the goals, because goals serves two purposes. First, what is it that you're going to achieve through this master's? And if you're not clear on that, the school cannot understand why you want to choose this program or this school. And secondly, it demonstrates your fitment to the program. Okay, question received at the time of registration: what precautions and mindset should be taken before going abroad? What do you suggest is work experience important before master's? Meena, you want to take
Yes,
this?
I'll take the first one.
Sure.
So what precautions and mindset should be taken before going to abroad? So as we were discussing earlier, clarity in goals is very important. See, master's at the end of the day could be your last academic degree. Some people go ahead and do PhD or MPhil or will do an MBA, but master's is a terminal degree for many people. So you should be very aware that why do you want to do the master's? So if you're looking to do, say, for a master's in management, what is the aim? So what is your goal after doing that master's degree? Do you want to work in that country? Will you be able to get a job in that country? What kind of a job are you looking for? And what are you trying to get out of that master's? That is very important. Secondly, what precautions and mindset should be taken? As we said, that precautions would be your transcripts should be all clear. Okay, you should not have any your GPA should be good, you should not have any backs, and everything should be honest on your profile. Okay, everything should be validated, because a lot of universities have now started doing reference checks, so everything should be clean and honest. Okay, and mindset should be that you have to start working now. So say for example, you're in your second year, as Tanya said, first year is to explore, second year onwards try identifying what you're interested and what you want to do your masters in, because at the end of the day you want to make the most of your masters. If you're there for 1 or 2 years, you want to get the most out of it, and that will happen if you're aware that why do you want to study that masters. And that's why we suggest you do different projects, do different internships, and try to identify what is of interest to you. Say it be marketing. In marketing, you have market research, you have social marketing, you have digital marketing, you have brand management. So identify which kind of marketing management you want to, marketing masters would you like to do. Second question, what do you suggest is work experience? What do you suggest? Is work experience important before masters? So we see dealing with a lot of clients, we see that a lot of clients have goal clarity, or they have that passion to do a master's from their undergrad only, and they know that they want to do a master's and they know the rough field they want to do it. Then we can help you identify also that in terms of what you want to put in the statement of purpose, we can help you that what your goals should be, but they have that inclination to do a master's. If you feel that you are still lost, that you don't know which masters you want to do, then we suggest that yes, then in that case you work for some time and make your profile stronger. Or if you've not been able to do a lot of internships, then maybe work for some time and then apply for masters. But per se, will masters require you to have work experience? No. Master's programs other than the MBA doesn't require you to have work experience. In MBA, you will need 3 years of work experience, 2 to 3 years of work experience while applying. But for other masters, you don't need to have work experience to apply. I hope I've answered those questions.
Meena, just building on to what you said, there are a couple of MBA programs that have, sort of very lately colleges have adapted something called as the 2+2 or the Deferred Mba Programs. Our Indian colleges such as BITS and ISB are offering those. Now, these programs don't require you to have work experience, right? And yet they allow you to enroll in a class which is 2 years from the time of your application into an MBA class straight, right? So Deferred MBA is something third year students with exceptional, profiles for high achievers, of course, you can definitely look at it. So it works well for two reasons. It doesn't require you to have work experience at the time of application. And of course, 2 years from now, you will be a part of the MBA class. So which is a win-win, right? And even if you want to apply, maybe you didn't get an admission at this time and you want to apply 2 years from now for MBA again to those schools, you will not be counted as a reapplicant. So it's a winning situation. So that is one program I wanted to highlight here, maybe.
Yes. So adding to that, the ISB, the Indian School of Business Hyderabad, YLP, the Young Leaders Program at ISB, is a program which you can apply to in your second year or your third year. And then you don't even need to submit your GMAT score then. You can do it by August. So that's one option now which has come up. And if you want to be in India, if you want to grow in India, you want to take a job in India, ISB is a very good brand to be a part of. Similarly, for BITS School of Management, the BITS SOM, it's again a very good program, a good new MBA program which is coming in India. So if you're not looking to go overseas, ISB and BITS School of Management, these are two schools where their MBAs and their other master's programs are very similar to the global programs. The application process tends to be similar, and even the teaching, the networking, the opportunities, the resources you get are very similar to the global schools. So I would suggest that you can look at ISB and BITS School of Management.
Yes, YLP needs 2 years of experience before you join the class.
So as Tanya said, it works like this, that you apply now, and once you've completed 2 years of experience, then you enroll for the class.
Right. Any other questions we can cater to? We've put our email addresses in the chat box. Feel free to reach out to us on our personal email IDs. We'll be more than happy to, help you with the process. Or if you have any queries regarding your career in general, feel free to reach out to us.
I just want to add that at OnCourse, we offer a free diagnostic test for GMAT. So if you come to us, if you want to do the GMAT, if you are planning to give the GMAT, come to us, we'll give you a free diagnostic test, and then we'll help you evaluate your result and tell you that about how many hours of studying you need, what is the strategy you should be looking at, by when you should give your GMAT, which areas you should be working on. So we can help you strategize for your GMAT. So if you're looking for Gmat Prep, do reach out to us and we can guide you accordingly.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful question answer round as well. So good afternoon, everyone present here. Honorable speakers of the day, Meenal Damani ma'am and Tanya Samani ma'am, respected principal and professors in charge, and all the participants present here. It is an honor for me to have the opportunity to give a vote of thanks on this day. I, Divya Charan, Advisory Committee on behalf of DLLE Unit of Lala Lajpat Rai College of Commerce and Economics, extend a hearty vote of thanks to our speakers of the day for the presence and the contribution to make master's application process get clarity and introducing concourse to all of us present here. A special thanks to our management and principal, Dr. Neelam Arora ma'am, for providing the opportunity of conducting this webinar. I extend my gratitude to our professors in charge, Dr. Meenam Saxena ma'am and Professor Vishaka Walia ma'am, for their guidance and support for organizing the webinar, which has attracted students from across states. I would like to thank the presidents and the core committee to work hard behind for a few days to making this a success. Last, I would like to thank the patient and curious audience. Thank you everyone for being present here. A small request to all the participants present here. The feedback link is put on the chat box. I would request you all to please fill the feedback form before you leave.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to talk to everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day ahead.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.